And welcome to another episode of the Ragin Wrestling Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, TNK, alongside
Ravishing Randy, live and on camera for the first time.
Oh man, it feels strange because we are on camera. We've been doing this audio format, podcast style, forever now, or for a while, 3 years.
Well, I was gonna say the dickhole, or excuse me, Rampage, who's sitting back there in the producer's chair. He was the one that put you out of action for a few weeks. Vicious chair shots.
Right. Kayfabe it up, man. I'm back.
Yeah, but at least I'm not the one that renamed the podcast to a whole different name.
Hey, it was the Ravishing Rampage edition while you were out, buddy.
I appreciate that. I actually like that. That's pretty funny. But look, I had to come back, man, because I took some time off. But man, with all the things going on in the wrestling world, man, they had a lot of stuff in the past week or so.
Dude, you missed out on a lot of hot topics, man. I know that, the last time that we did a show, we delved deep into the CM Punk stuff and everything. Kind of gave our thoughts. That was a very contentious
one. Yes, Bray Wyatt and CM Punk. Yes, I bet that was.
Well, no. We did the Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk thing before that.
Oh, good. Okay.
And then all that shit went down. So that was another show that we had to do.
Oh, geez, my timelines are so messed up. I feel like forever.
Yeah, no, dude, it's been a minute.
But yeah, like I said, we had a lot to get into. Or does Ramsey? Do you want to talk about what's going on? What we're doing now?
Real quickly is like, since you have been on the show, what is your thoughts about CM Punk?
I'll keep it brief. I think that look, hearsay, whatever happened, whether or not I think Jack Perry should be held responsible for a lot of it. I think CM Punk should have not either put him in a face lock or whatever. I think he might have been the aggressor. I hear back and forth situations. If he told Tony Khan felt that with the guys bumping, the monitors falling, it was a hazard. If they wanted to release him, so be it. Do I need Punk in my life? I'd like to see him, but it is what it is.
I like to see him, but I mean, and again, I'm not gonna, because I know as soon as I start talking, Rampage is gonna get all riled up. But
I'm not gonna say I already said my piece about everything.
But no, just like at the end of the day, if you're gonna say you're an adult and act and like people need to act like adults, then you need to heed your own advice. And I just kind of feel like, it's like the boy who cried wolf. There's only so many times that you can sit there and point the finger, but when it's consistently coming back, the common denominator is you. Then again, you have nobody to blame, but look in the mirror and call a spade a spade.
I gotta say, I can't disagree with you. It's a common denominator. I hate it, but I wish. Look, there's still a ton of great things in wrestling without it.
Dude, and look, I think AEW, at least from like a talent standpoint, I think everybody's kind of stepped up their game. We had the announcement of his firing came a day before the All Out pay-per-view. And how crazy was that? Like a year later, almost exactly, all this shit comes out. They end up putting on a hell of a show, and then the build-up to Wrestle Dream on October 1st. I feel like a lot of the matches that have been announced for that, outstanding card.
Yeah, they announced another match earlier today. They got a 4-way match. Winner gets the AEW titles, and the card's looking pretty good, man. Look, the one match I wanted to see, obviously. Sorry. Yeah, it's Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, no, the fact that they announced that.
Finally.
No, there's a lot of really good matches. I know the one that I'm kind of intrigued by is the Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland thing, especially if this means a push for Swerve.
Oh, Swerve's needed a push for a while now. He absolutely earned my respect, and that's the thing that I get with people. Like for instance, LA Knight, a lot of people just cheer him on to cheer him on. Like, you have to earn my respect in the ring consecutively. Swerve has earned it just based on him putting people over, because he's had a lot of losses. He made a lot of guys look good, and he earned my respect. So, yeah, give Swerve a push.
Time to shine. Rampage. What we got, buddy?
First thing, we're not going to bring out the elephant in the room. This is our first video.
I touched on it at the beginning of the show.
So
first time live on camera.
Ramsey, our producer, has worked so hard to get this done. He made it a goal, a mission earlier this year. He said we will be on YouTube. Apparently, we're going to be on YouTube, and right now is our first video recording, and I don't know what to do. I'm just kind of like, Talladega Nights, like, what do I do with my hands?
Look, I tell you what, it was kind of funny. We were talking about the logistics and building up to this. I know, like, TNK, you were a little shy at first about wanting to show your face on camera. You're considering maybe getting a mask.
I might do a lucha mask, yeah. And I could probably still do that, right? Yeah. Maybe do a, we'll see.
I was going to say Tempest, you're not, buddy.
Well, get into the equipment and everything. I even got my little camera here at the desk. We're going to call this the Ram Cam.
The Ram Cam.
Yeah, Ramsey. Ram Cam.
No, I was picking up what you were putting down.
Yeah, but today we Today we're going to do like just a little quick game. Today we just got a little Jeopardy, little one round Jeopardy round for y'all. Um, y'all going to probably curse me out because it's going to be fucking hard as shit.
Oh, well, thank you. It's gonna be amazing when, like, at the end of Jeopardy, the score is 0-0. Or actually, I guess
negative.
in this case, like, negative.
Negative.
Yeah.
But other than that, let's bring it out. We used to have separate. We used to separated the Ragin rundown for our newscast separately, but we got a new screen. We got a screen here, so we're going to do our.
We have a scroller.
Little scroller. We're going to have pretty much what we're going to talk about in the news is going to be on the scroll, and then we got our little graphics up top. So let's talk about the first topic of the day. WWE cuts.
That pretty much as soon as the hammer came down, we talked with each other. It was like, yeah, we're definitely doing a show this week, right? We definitely got to talk about this, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of weird how they did it this year already. Like, normally it's after WrestleMania, usually in April.
Well, different set of circumstances because
the
you had the merger become official. So now Endeavor is officially owns both WWE and UFC. So that's officially on the cards now. They already had done like a wave of releases as far as like from a corporate office backstage standpoint. But you knew it was only a matter of time before that was going to trickle down to talent. So in this case, this is what happened. To be honest, we have like 22, 23.
21 cuts.
21
so
cuts.
So far.
Yeah, so far.
So, I mean,
some of them are not surprising. There's others that you could sit there and kind of scratch your head on and be like, that's just odd.
Do you really think there was really any major surprises for you?
I do have some major surprises, but let's talk about the three that's in the graphic because those are probably the three that's the main three out of the three biggest names out of this cuts. Dolph Ziggler, Shelton Benjamin, and Matt Riddle.
Okay. Dolph Ziggler's been with the company since 2004.
Yes.
He's been 19 years tenured. And I believe right before AEW, I think right after AEW officially became a company, Vince McMahon paid him. They didn't want him switching brands because his contract was going to be up. So they paid him a lot of money, like $1.5 million, I believe he was making, which is a lot of money, especially for somebody at Ziggler mid-card status because they weren't ever going to push him. So I just think his tenure, it would have been nice to see him retire with WWE.
Yeah, I mean, logged in that many miles. Is what he had third most televised matches in WWE
John Cena
history.
Called him out on even The Rock, Ric Flair. Everybody was like giving their flowers to Dolph. Like, dude,
because he was so good at putting people over.
One of the top sellers of all time.
Dude, like when he had his run, what was it, like 2012, 2013?
The Money in the Bank.
Yeah, when he had Money in the Bank and he won the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, honestly, the dude was so talented and so charismatic that, like, I honestly said he is the next coming of HBK, Mr. Perfect,
100%.
all rolled into one. Like, this is a guy that could really be the future of the company. Like, you could strap a rocket on him and shoot him to the moon. And it's just like whether it was a series of unfortunate circumstances with, like, the concussions.
It was a concussion.
But, I mean, he still went on to have a long career. And that's why, to me, I feel like it's the biggest wasted opportunity, at least on WWE's part. I mean, he was over with the fans, but they would never get
that's going
behind
to
him.
be the common theme with a lot of these releases, or at least for some of them, and we can go into that. But with Dolph, just the fact that 19 years tenured, and this is how you release.
Yeah, and granted, he hasn't had as much time on TV lately because he's been focusing more on like his stand-up comedy and other interests, and it's like, hey, if you don't have anything for me, then why?
But also, like, to get to Shelton Benjamin's been with the company on and off. I think he was there from 2002 to about 2011, maybe. And
he was there for a long time, and then he kind of went away for a good chunk of time, and then they brought him back. I'll be honest, I'm not terribly surprised that he was one of the ones that was cut.
I was thinking they need to have him as like a producer or an agent or something in the background. I just think his talents would be wasted otherwise. I think he'd be great behind the scenes, but they might rehire him for that. But
I mean, is he necessarily ready to hang up the tights? You know what I mean?
Good call. And I was thinking, as for like an in-ring persona, I did like the Hurt Business.
The Hurt Business was great until they abandoned it.
Exactly.
I mean, and granted, there's You know, one face, and I mean, we could definitely talk about Riddle here in a moment, but like one face that you don't have on there that I think is like one of the biggest examples of stop go pushing is Mustafa Ali.
Okay,
Like,
so he openly requested his release last year in 2022, and I think that it's kind of funny they didn't give it to him initially, but then with him, okay, he was going to get a major push, and then Kofi got the push for Kofi Mania.
mm-hmm.
And then, he would kind of have moments being the leader of like Retribution or whatever. They would kind of give him things.
Well, it was like they built him up big as like, hey, former Chicago police officer, now living his dream as a wrestler. And they harped on that story for a few weeks and then they dropped it. Then he's the leader of Retribution, and like, or actually before that, he was the guy that was like the cyber, the cyber attacker, the hacker, yeah. And then they dropped that, and it's like literally they'd have all these pushes for him. They'd give it a few weeks. He'd get over with the fans. He'd have amazing matches, and then they'd have nothing for him, and then they drop it.
And they kind of call him down.
I mean, look, he was about to wrestle Dominic Mysterio for the U.S. Championship at No Mercy, NXT No Mercy, and he gets cut. So now what does Dominic Mysterio do at the pay-per-view?
Well, yeah.
Premium live event.
Well, he's going to wrestle. As a matter of fact, Monday Night Raw, he's supposed to wrestle Dragon Lee, I think, for the belt, or at least have a match for it. But onward, here we got Riddle. Let's just get into it. Talk about a guy, you said it earlier when you text the message, when you sent the group chat. Talk about a guy that can't get out of his own way, apparently.
Dude, like, how many fucking chances are they going to give you, man? Like, you just consistently fuck up.
I mean, look, the UFC thing was with THC, and WWE has a standard where, like, you can basically smoke weed and get away with it. So I don't know what else was in his system because he failed 2 drug tests and served suspensions. Matter of fact, that last 60-day suspension, he had a very good push going for him, and he screwed it up. And then also he's had other allegations.
I mean, the whole like cheating on his wife with someone else, and then that getting out on social media. The whole incident at LaGuardia Airport with airport security and him accusing them of rape, and just like how many times are you going to keep fucking up before enough is enough? And WWE is finally like, nope, screw this, I'm done.
Yeah, because I mean, that was the thing. They're saying, oh, we didn't have anything for him in the future, but that was BS because you had a lot for him. You just pissed at him for screwing up the pushes you were going to give him. So then you're just like, dude, you screwed up too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, and he was over with the fans.
He was.
He had it. I mean, he could definitely go in the ring. I think back to that cage match that he had with Seth Rollins. I can't remember which pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was the one where Bray Wyatt returned. And,
it was Extreme Rules.
Yeah, and hell of a pay-per-view match, you know? It's disappointing, really. It's disappointing that he can't get out of his own way.
Ramsey put up another dash. I don't know who that one is.
It's Aaliyah.
Oh, Aaliyah, okay. Oh, this does not look like Aaliyah, but...
well, her hair's darker.
Okay. But yeah, you got Dana Brooke and Tenille Dashwood. And for these...
Dude, Emma, like, they just brought her back. She was there for a cup of fucking coffee. And then they got rid of her.
They didn't do anything with her.
No.
They kind of just like, oh, we'll do you behind the scenes. I don't think she might have 1 or 2 matches maybe, but...
Yeah, no, like, any TV matches she had, I think she lost almost every one of them.
Pretty much, yeah.
And it's like, she's a good worker. She got over, whether it was Impact, on the Indies, Ring of Honor, whatever. Like, wherever she went, she got over.
Okay, I'll say this about Tenille Dashwood. Tenille Dashwood, sorry. Her match with Paige was supposedly the match that got people, that kind of sparked that women's revolution in NXT.
Yes.
So you kind of got to give her that alone. But yeah, I feel they did her wrong. She could have done more.
Dude, like, that's a storyline right there.
Well, the whole thing with her and Riddick Moss and how that storyline was being played in the backstage of trying to, like, make Riddick Moss into more of being, how you call it? She was, like, pushing him to do things. And
like don't listen to the fans.
Yeah,
like, the fans aren't
It looked like
there.
This could be something. The problem is with Riddick Moss is he's I don't know what happened, but he's a Paul Heyman guy. But when Paul Heyman is now not in charge of SmackDown no more, the problem is it's now he had no one had any.
He had nobody in his corner. He had nobody to have his back, and like you could definitely see the change when he was like a featured prominent player on SmackDown, and then all of a sudden he disappears.
Yeah, and I look at all these names right now.
We got Elias.
Okay, dude.
The one thing that that pisses me off about that cut is I was so ready for the Elias and Ezekiel tag team to happen, and I will never get to see it.
That was the running joke. He's like, "Well, is Ezekiel still with the company?" It's like, oh my god, it's like you just think. Here's the thing about Elias, man. You think about how hot he was for WrestleMania in New Orleans, or like that Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 34, where like he's literally calling the crowd scumbags, and the crowd's like, "We are scumbags." Like the crowd, everybody was all for him, and oh, have the mighty have fallen, man. You haven't seen him on television forever.
I mean, injuries I know played a factor into it. Kind of a similar situation with Rick Boogs. Like right when he was kind of hot, then he blows out his quads and
yeah, because like Rick Boogs, literally, I saw him on the pre-show to SmackDown. He had a match with Cameron Grimes, and I was like, wow, I hadn't seen Rick Boogs in forever, so that wasn't a shocker for me. But he did a lot of ad stuff behind the scenes with the company. So
yeah,
Old Spice, other things. The one I feel kind of bad for, I'm going to get onto that one up the top in a second. But the Maximum Male models, they had a lot of good ideas creatively behind the scenes, like just goofy backstage segments that I thought were really funny. But they just nobody listened to them, allowed them to do it. And I'm like, you're looking for content, give them like 3 minutes to just do their thing.
They are a hit on Twitch, man. They were saying like, even if like the wrestling thing doesn't work out, just fucking keep doing what they're doing on Twitch.
Absolutely.
Like,
I think
they're getting a fan base out there.
Good. I'm happy to hear that, man, because I kind of feel bad for both of them, honestly.
Well, the writing was on the wall when they lost
Maxine
Dupree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw that they're going to Alpha Academy. I was like, okay, they're done.
One that I got to touch on real quickly. I totally forgot he was with the company with Shanky, man. I just picture Vince McMahon like, okay, so Vince McMahon was basically like, oh, look at that tall, goofy-looking bastard. We're gonna have him do the Shanky. Do the Shanky every Friday. Do the Shanky. And like, put a women announcer in the ring and make her feel awkward. Do the Shanky. The dumb fans. And then Triple H takes over, right? We don't see Shanky. He might have been in like a battle royal, but then it was like, oh wait, didn't they do a show in India like 2 weeks ago? And guess who was there? Shanky. Oh, we're gonna keep him till we do a show in India. And then next thing you know.
No, dude, they look strategic, man. Very strategic and surgical.
I'm just shocked they didn't cut everybody else from that whole group.
Well, they had Mansoor. I don't know the other guy's name. The tag team. He's currently in with Jinder Mahal.
Well, no, Mansoor is
not Mansoor.
Mansoor and Massey.
I'm sorry. But with the other guy, the one that was like, he'll be on Raw. Veer, thank you. Yeah,
Veer.
So sorry. Wait a minute, someone stuck my brain. He's staring right in the face.
Veer and Jinder.
And then we talked about Mustafa Ali. Top dollar. Look, I liked him on the Hidden Treasure show on A&E. He's just limited in the ring with his injuries from football. He has no leg, like no knees.
He's not good in the ring.
Exactly. And that was the thing real quick we touched upon Aaliyah. Like, Aaliyah's been with the company since 2015. But she's still really green in the ring. Like, she has an NXT Tag Team Championship, but you watch her in the ring, you're like,
just especially with the level of the women's competition now, it's like you can be drop dead gorgeous.
It's not enough.
But if you're supposed to be an in-ring talent, you have to give more.
Exactly.
And they're running up on the cuts, like the NXT, a lot of the NXT cuts.
I'll let you talk about this if you know. You're probably know more than me.
Yeah. I'm just saying we don't have to talk about them. I just put they're there. They're there.
I know my buddy, or the guy's been on the show before, podcast show, Chris was talking about this, how he feels that NXT does a lot of recaps on their show, and it's not fair to the talent that they have. And sometimes they had the main roster call downs, which are good. Like Dominic Mysterio's killing it because he's young enough to warrant that. And then, Baron Corbin's on there. And
but you also got to think about it, too, is that they have so many developmental talents that are signed that aren't even on TV or anything like that, you got to get them on TV at some point. And it's like if you've got people that are already there in NXT, but they're not going to that next level, you got to clear out the waste to make room for that young talent to come up and try their hand.
Can't argue.
So you know how much I really don't like Baron Corbin, right?
Yeah.
Fucking killing it on NXT.
Dude, no, he's found another life there,
He is killing it. Okay. NXT is actually, I tell you this, I've been watching, went back and watched some of the last couple weeks episodes. It's probably the best wrestling on TV.
I will say this, man.
Best wrestling program.
I don't know if y'all probably talked about this last time, but that Becky Lynch Tiffany Stratton match.
No, we haven't talked about it. We didn't talk about
that
it.
Match,
that match was good.
Do yourself a favor and somehow find a way to watch that match. Best women's match I've seen all year. Outstanding. Tiffany Stratton, that girl, wow. that really showcased a lot.
And God, she's only been featured for what, a little over a year now.
Kind of, yeah. She's young, 24, and she looked like a pro, dude. Been doing it for years, a true veteran.
Granted, it helps when
Now,
you
Becky,
it helps when you have a
so
veteran
good.
to kind of guide you and
yes.
talk you through the match. But at the same point in time, like you got to put in the work yourself. And no, she looked
I was
great. She looked
very
like a
impressed
star.
with her in that match. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I can't wait for her to go to the main roster, but how crazy that Becky Lynch goes to NXT and brings 500,000 followers, extra followers
To the NXT brand.
to NXT brand.
Wow, I'm glad you said that because I was curious what the ratings were because I tuned in.
So it was like 500,000. It was 500,000 people. It was like their normal. They get the normal. Normal. And when that match came on, that shit went over 1 million.
Yeah, because it went after 10 or whatever the time it ends at 9 o'clock. It was like 10 minutes after, and I'm like, they still kept it.
It hit over 1 million viewers,
Good for them.
especially at that last end of the match. But the problem was they missed out on that whole card of. That card was fucking
It was pretty solid.
phenomenal.
I watched a little bit of it. It was good.
It's
the Wesley Iron Dragono match. I was like, whoa! I was
dude,
so impressed.
I tell you right now, the only thing that lacking on NXT is the announcers, the commentators.
Oh yeah, Booker T. and
Booker T gotta go.
Yeah.
Vic Joseph, okay. Booker T gotta go.
I don't mind Booker T coming in and doing like his
Look, but
pre-show commentary or whatever, but
I guess we'll finish off with just saying, like, look, I hope all the guys that releases, it's not the end of the world. Matt Cardona sent a big tweet about like how it's not the end of the world. Look at the people that reinvented themselves. You can, still have a career.
real quick, if you had to speculate on where like some of these people will turn up whenever their 90-day no compete expires, I mean, I have a good feeling Dolph is going to do one of two things. He's either going to go to AEW, link up with his brother Ryan Nemeth.
That's my thought.
And like, I think it would be kind of crazy to see the two of them go as like a tag team.
Who knows? That's the only thing. That's all. I'm just glad to do that. I think Dolph's go to AEW. The rest,
Or he might just flat out retire. Because he's got so many other things he could do.
Sarah already threw it out there for her and Emma to running back.
Oh, okay, nice. I'd love to see it.
She already brought that out.
I would love to see Emma in AEW, and like honestly, I think of all the promotions, if there's maybe one spot where Mustafa Ali could shine, I think it would be more so like AEW than it would be maybe the other promotions.
The problem with that is that they have people on AEW. They still don't. They need to start bringing up because they don't even show their own
They
people.
will. I think they will because I'm. The whole other subject.
I know. He said something. I know he said something on Saturday about there's going to be a new era, something new.
Probably announcing more of like the pay-per-view stuff and
exactly because none of these guys.
Max.
Because none of the main roster, you got till the end of December, and before you can even think of them jumping ship.
Yeah, it's till December. The only thing I'd say is probably like Rick Boogs or probably be a Impact.
I see a lot of those guys doing Impact, honestly, because they're short 6-month contracts. The only ones I see going to AEW is Dolph and probably Mustafa. And that's it.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see Riddle. I think he's too.
If he decides to, maybe, but yeah.
I don't. AEW's not going to touch him.
They've already had their hands full with like Jeff Hardy shit and everything else. It's like, why are you gonna add?
You had John Moxley going to rehab. You had Hardy going to rehab. Yeah, you don't want to touch that shit.
Yeah, but Hardy, in a sense, it was like either do that or there'll be serious legal ramifications. So, and there still are to a certain extent. So,
I could also see too is this is a punishment for Riddle, because supposedly Randy Orton's at the performance center, getting back into ring shape, getting back to start training again. Look, it's going to take Randy Orton to go get Riddle's jobs back, but I can see Riddle back in WWE in 6 months.
I mean, look, they take how many times did Jeff Hardy go
I
on
think
and
this
come
is.
and go
I
on?
think this is a hey. You're fired. Get your shit shit together, and let's talk again. I don't think there's no other promotion that's going to take that risk on Riddle.
No, well said. I agree with you 100%. Yeah,
I mean, and WWE has been known in the past for giving people second, third, fourth, fifth chances.
Yeah.
But the other thing you have to consider, though, is the fact that this isn't Vince McMahon's WWE anymore.
Exactly, but I think also too. I think with like if Randy Orton comes out and says, "Hey, I want him back," I'll be in charge of him. Let me be responsible. Cause look, look how far Riddle has went to the far right, far left when Randy Orton was out. But when Randy Orton was there all the time, he was in line. And I think that's the thing. I think it's he didn't have no one to like say, hey.
I mean, do you need an accountability 24/7?
No, but I think if you're on the road, sometimes you need that little angel on your shoulder to be like, hey, dude.
No, I agree with you. That's a great
Which is
point.
funny that it's Randy
Touche.
Orton because Randy Orton was that
Yeah,
was
that
really
was
that-
it. So maybe that's
so
why.
that's a perfect
Yeah.
person to be like, all right, dude, we can smoke weed a little bit, but hey, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Chill the fuck out.
So yeah, I think with that, yeah, you do sometimes need that shit. Hardy needs that all the time.
Oh,
Now.
of course. Yeah.
Hell, fucking which Uso brothers?
Jimmy.
have the
Jimmy was the one I think that had 2 or 3.
See, it goes in hand. Sometimes you need someone just to keep you on line. Let's go into the PW 500. Their top 500 came out. Here we're just gonna do show up the
Top 10.
the top 10. Number one, actually 1, 2, 3 is the Shield.
Yep.
Seth Rollins, whose last year was at 17, is now number 1. Only thing that I don't see why he's number 1. He doesn't have the best work rate in his own company.
Okay, so I'll give Seth Rollins the argument for being number 1. Remember, it's from July 1st to June 30th. I think he's been in some of the best storylines. I think he's put together he's put together very solid matches on a weekly, consistent basis. I think it's just his numbers overall, how many times he's wrestled. I think he's worthy of being number 1 this year.
I mean, I think it's a combination of work rate and the storylines, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, is he my number 1? No, and I know we'll touch on who we think or how we think the list should go. The fact that we were joking about this, what was the criteria? You had to wrestle a minimum of 10 matches.
10 matches.
And that's why Brock Lesnar is nowhere
in the
to
top
be found
500.
on it.
CM Punk's not in the top 500.
Yeah,
There's
Roman.
a lot of people that you'd be like, oh.
Well, but CM Punk was also out for 9 months, with the injury
And then
everything.
I know you're like, well,
suspension.
10 matches. Like, there's no way Roman had 10 matches. But the matches
Did
had.
he just
storyline.
barely get in there?
He
Hey,
might have.
Cody missed fucking.
He missed
This is
half a
from
year.
July to June. He
He's number
missed
10.
July to December to
Uh,
January
I
pretty
know,
much.
He was the other one too. Cody, number 10. You're like, I don't know if you're going to go in order, but you're like, okay, he missed half the year, but then you're like, well, he won the Royal Rumble, main event of WrestleMania, been doing, consistently showing the case on TV as one of your biggest top baby faces. Yeah, worthy of top 10.
Well, because we are recording audio as well to put this up on like Spotify and basically wherever you get your podcasts from audio wise. Maybe you can't see the list that we actually have on the video here. Just to real quickly go through it: Seth Rollins 1, Roman Reigns 2, Jon Moxley 3. So as we stated earlier, Shield. 4th, Gunther. 5, Elio del Vikingo. Number 6, MJF. Number 7, Kazuchika Okada. 8, Orange Cassidy. 9, Josh Alexander. And Cody Rhodes rounding out the top 10 at number 10.
So if y'all want to give like which guys y'all think should be in y'all's top 3, I'd like to know.
Dude, Orange Cassidy is criminally
He should be
low on this list.
He should be in my top 3. He is in my top 3 this year. You can make the argument number 1.
I was gonna say minimum top 5.
I would probably have either Gunther 1, Orange Cassidy 2. You can flip flop either one.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that. Gunther. If that's as low as you're gonna have Gunther, only because again, this is a freaking kayfabe list, mind you. So if we're popping the marks and going true kayfabe, you want to have the Shield in your top 3. Okay, that's fine. Gunther can be no lower than 4.
100%.
Dude, you want to talk about a guy that has brought prestige back to that Intercontinental Championship, in some ways making that the most important championship in all of WWE. Just as far as how often it's defended, the quality of the matches that are had while it's being defended, whether it's on TV, premium live event, it's always one of the best matches on the card.
Kurt, I got a question for you. What do I do the most here?
Bitch about AEW.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy's my number 1.
Yeah, no, dude, like legitimately, you talk about a guy that got a belt over.
That's the most legitimate championship on AEW. No matter what title it was, he made that title legitimate. It
Preach.
made the name of the title different because now it now means more than
Dude,
just
defending it on
one little area.
TV once, sometimes twice a week, and definitely,
Putting banger matches on week
Mhm.
after week, sometimes, like you said, sometimes twice a week. And it was just like, wow, this guy's just going and going. He's showing his work rate, what he can do. Ever since the Forbidden Door match with Will Ospreay,
Oh, dude.
his stock has just risen so high to me. You can absolutely make Orange Cassidy #1, and the fact that Ramsey says that goes to show you he's earning
Mad
some
respect.
Number 2, I got Gunther.
Yeah.
I mean, because Intercontinental is the most prestigious title. He made it to the most prestigious title in WWE.
And very well deserving that he was the one to break Honky Tonk Man's record. Now he owns that record.
I was happy to see it.
Yeah.
And number 3, he holds no titles, and titles are a big sway into this list.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me what Cody Rhodes hasn't done that made people fucking tune in and be like, we gotta watch. #1 merchant seller. I'm like breaking records
Yeah.
in merchandise, WWE merchandising records. Bringing the fucking matches. Like every match so far has been fucking like, let's go,
Dude,
let's get ready.
Any match that he's involved in definitely has an elevated feel to it because it's like it's Cody that's in the match. Whether it's messing around with, a squash match with Dominic, or it's, whoever he gets in the ring with, it has an elevated feel to it because it's Cody.
You know what's funny too is, have you felt like since the last pay-per-view, like if you watch his promos on Raw, doesn't he feel like he's a fucking vice president of WWE?
Oh,
He is coming like
to that point, okay, because I actually spent like a good chunk of the day while I was at work on my lunch break, and then even like on the car ride home and at home. I was watching his podcast, or like the interview he had on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s podcast. And it was so crazy just listening to a lot of the points that were brought up. He talks about how his father was uber charismatic and like literally talk people into he was very emotional, and that's not really his style. His style is more political in a sense that like when he goes out there, he's campaigning, his points and to the crowd. Like he's not going to be the one to give like the fiery rah-rah speech every time. He doesn't have the soul. That was really what it was. His father was more soul and blues and stuff like that.
Okay.
He had that rhythm, and that's not him. He's more of, I'm going to tell you what's really on my mind. It's going to come from the heart, and I'm going to be eloquent while I give it. Because it's like, look, when Cody cuts a promo,
oh, dude,
I'm listening, and I'm bought in. I buy it. When he's out there on the talk show circuit and he's doing press tours and stuff like that, I'm captivated by every interview because it's genuine, it's real, And I think that, dude, it's like it's hard not to root for a guy like Cody when you know the story, when you know the history and everything, man. It's like, dude.
I mean, look, Cody Rhodes in the ring. The best compliment I give him, man, is like he's the best babyface promo, hands down. And I love the storylines. You can tell he can just have the microphone. It's very captivating. The matches qualities as well. He's up there for me with him. He's putting on very good matches.
He's like a chameleon. He can have almost any kind of style match you need him to.
Sometimes I feel like, when I see him in the suit giving the interviews behind the scenes, it's kind of like it feels like pandering a little bit to politicians.
no. So you need to listen to. God, what podcast it was? It was him and After the Bell.
Okay.
Oh, with Corey Graves.
Corey Graves. And he talks about the suits. I think that's the one. He talks about the suit, and then he says he's not going back. That's now his thing. Like he wears
armor.
suits.
It's
a
his armor
corporate thing. It just kind of feels like corporate politicial.
But he feels like he just loves wearing
it's a professional
the suits.
look. I give it that.
He
dude.
just loves wearing the suits. He just feels like this is something.
Suits always feel like a heel move to me.
It's-
That's just me.
It's
That's always
crazy
ways.
too, though. Like just seeing the evolution of a lot of these interviews that he's given, and how, like, granted, when he first left WWE, he was like, "Man, fuck that Stardust bullshit. That was all WWE's fault. That was blah." Then he goes back to the company and he tells them like, "I'm coming back on one condition: Stardust is dead. We're not even going to revisit that. We're not going to do anything." Then, of course, the first match back with Seth, he does the cartwheel and he does the whole move, kind of like a nod to it. He's like, oh no, I felt motivated in the moment to do it. But like the more that he's given interviews in like the last year or so, the more and more you hear him kind of come out and say like, on deep reflection upon being back, the more I realize it had more to do with like me, and like I have to shoulder more of the blame, because as much as like I was bitching about how I was stuck in his character and I wasn't getting my opportunity because of it, it's like it could have been like, what are those guys that are being successful right now, like the John Cena's, the Roman Reigns, and all that? What are they doing? Why am I not doing that? What can I do to project myself to that level? So it's like he's owning it more and more now, like the more he does these interviews. It's kind of like just crazy, like to see him on this ride that he's on and the self-reflection of being like, own up.
I know, man. Like that's the thing. I don't know. This could be a whole nother subject. I don't even want to say it. Like I'm just hoping down the road this story will end the right way.
WrestleMania 40. Sure, it's not going to be The Rock.
That's what I didn't want to talk about. That would be a whole nother argument. I'm
Yeah,
like, no,
that's a
please,
whole
let it be.
that's a whole
Let
nother
it be.
show,
Whatever
kids.
be, do the right thing, finish the story. But we'll see.
Well, let's talk about how $1.6 billion that USA will now have SmackDown on Fridays.
Okay, I didn't know the exact terms for how much the money was.
And this is just for SmackDown.
How many years?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years, okay.
With this also includes 4 special events on
Prime
NBC
time.
broadcast.
On
Yeah.
prime time. Not like late night Saturday night or anything. Like this is the first time WWE is actually going to be featured in a primetime slot
On NBC.
NBC.
on NBC.
On like going back to old Saturdays or just whenever.
No.
No, we don't know.
Prime
Time.
time.
Oh, so they could do like a Monday or a Friday SmackDown, Thursday SmackDown on NBC whenever they want.
Yeah.
Nice.
They could-
I just bring back Saturday night main event.
Why not, man? I'm all for
But
it.
you can do it at 7:00.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not do it at 7:00 and challenge
Collision.
AEW?
Yeah, may as well. I mean, that's the rumor that I heard.
It's gonna be a killer.
Oh, I love Collision, but like did y'all hear about that too? Like, okay, that's a big deal, man, because like you have SmackDown on Fox until October 2024, and I know with Disney owns Fox or whatever. Sooner?
Next month.
I
Next
thought
month.
it was 2024.
Next month.
Oh damn.
Wait, what?
Yeah, next month.
No, I thought it was supposed to be October 2024.
Yeah,
No, I thought it was
I'm
2023.
very
That's-
certain it's
No,
October 2024.
2024.
Yeah, I'm very positive.
They always renegotiate their TV deals a year in advance so that
right,
it's
you're
in
right.
place and ready to go
Because
for
I was
the following
"God,
year.
Because I was thinking the same thing, but no, did y'all hear the thing about? And we can still talk about SmackDown. That's a big deal, man. Just them being on Fox was a huge deal because that to me Fox is a primetime channel.
Yeah.
And now because like Fox has to cut back costs with Disney, all that. I get that. 300 million is a high asking price. USA, you're giving them because you're already on the Peacock network. Why not stay with Universal? As for Monday Night Raw, I don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Dude, apparently like Disney potentially is in play. Amazon.
You
Yeah,
know,
I mean they may take Raw streaming. I don't know how I feel about that.
me neither.
Well, if Disney ends up getting the rights to say it's going to go on Hulu.
Okay.
Well, I know all content, all WWE content on Hulu, as of this
Yeah, they're taking it
this week is down.
Yeah, they took it down.
It's gone. It's gone. Their contract with Hulu is over. I don't see.
Good thing I still DVR it all through
I-
Hulu. Haha.
I don't see Universal losing Raw off. We already seen Raw off of USA and what happened with it.
Yeah, I think it's a big hit with TNN.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel right.
Mm-mm.
I think this is going to be a Universal deal. I don't see them leaving NBC at all.
Because
I
like,
can't.
I mean, like, I down mind you, this is the dirt sheet. Everything's hearsay because they're like, oh well, I heard the report earlier this morning on one of those channels that they may switch. They may not. They may during football season switch to another night. If Monday Night Football has been doing what they're doing, having 2 Monday Night Football games a night, usually they start that off week 1.
Yeah, I was kind of befuddled when it's like week 3 and it's like, wait, we still have
what
two.
happened- So week one because it's 9/11, and you only can have one New York game. You only have the New York game on 9/11.
Okay.
This week 2, you have your 2 games because of you couldn't have it on week 1, but they're doing this as a trial sample to see how this will work out because it's going to be on ESPN and ABC. They're trying to capitalize on the ABC ESPN.
Oh, I got you. Because
They want to corner the
'Cause
market.
think about it. You're taking away four cities or more. Think about it. Last week, the Saints played the Carolina Panthers. So right there, you have the Gulf Coast, and you have both Carolinas that are probably going to be tuning into football over Monday Night Raw. And then you also had Cleveland versus Pittsburgh last week. So those two cities are going to be pretty much like, what am I going to watch? Watch football. Football's king.
Yeah, but I mean, also too is like this is the time of the year where Raw ratings will start
They always
will
take a
drop
dip,
down.
but
It's
now
always,
you got 2 games. So
yeah, but I mean, like your diehard fans are always gonna. Those same fans are still gonna watch football.
Those diehard fans that you have your diehard wrestling fans that are going to watch wrestling no matter what, doesn't matter with football. And then you're going to have your diehard football fans. It's like, I love wrestling, but I'm watching Monday Night Football.
I
It is
love
what it
professional
is.
wrestling, but if there's a Saints game, I'm going to be leaning more towards.
I mean, but dude, like honestly, that's the beauty and the magic of the DVR. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and that's why, like, to me, I think ratings is you can't really go by the ratings metric anymore.
No, they
Like, and
kinda
you see
aren't.
more of the DVR views that are starting to factor in
100%.
on it.
You know, that's why like when they announced that they're going to do Elimination Chamber in Perth, but they're doing it in prime time Australia.
Okay.
So be here would be like it's 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning because they're so prominent that their streaming views of rewatching it, like when it's in London or if it's in Saudi Arabia, the watch the metrics of rewatching the
Go up.
go up higher
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
later in the day watch of the fans watching it. So they believe, hey, we don't have to like cater just to the American. We can have this thing at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
People are going to watch
Australian
one way or
time.
the other, you know.
Yeah.
People haven't seen it.
For football, you're going to watch it live. That's no matter what, you know, because if that's the case, WWE will not hold. You won't hold a premium live event this whole 6 months because why would you do it on Saturday night? Because that's big. College football is now the second biggest sport in America. Period.
Dude, like honestly, I gotta say this too because I was off this past Saturday and it just felt so great. Yeah, I did a little bit of stuff around the house, but like basically from 11 a.m. all the way until 10 o'clock at night, just kind of laid in my recliner and was flipping back and forth between all the college football games. I mean, there's nothing better than a football Saturday.
It's
Favorite
some
time of
games
year,
also.
dude.
I watched war documentaries all day Saturday.
Womp, womp,
I'm so
womp.
like I watched so much college football in my lifetime. I just couldn't watch it.
I'm with
And
it.
first thing to this, like this. Let's talk real quickly. It's not fucking November. Why is LSU playing fucking Arkansas?
I know that was
That
so
shit
weird.
is
Dude.
so fucking weird.
Dude.
That shit's so weird. And then next week, and the next week we're playing Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Really? I can't. I don't
I
like
actually
it.
agree with
The
you.
schedule's
I
all
don't
fucking.
like it.
It's like, how the hell are we playing Florida the week after Alabama? Like the one thing that stayed consistent with the schedule this season is that we play Alabama the first Saturday of November,
That's
and,
it.
and then like the
And
fact that we
Texas
play
A&M
Florida
we
the next
play
week.
last.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, enough about the college
I know,
football
sorry.
tangent.
I
Sorry, it happens. No, I mean it's gonna be genuinely curious though to see where like Raw, NXT, and all that kind of shake out.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, if
where
Raw
they
wants
go.
to change nights every once in a while, that'd be intriguing. And yeah, SmackDown, whether or not they stay Fridays or whatever.
I know they've said that they're not married to Friday night. Like if they end up moving it to another night, like a Thursday or something like that,
That would
then
make sense.
so be it. Friday definitely made sense as far as like the Fox
On
deal.
Fox, yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're not moving it on Friday, but the rumor.
Well, no, they said they're
rumor-
not opposed to moving it if they need to.
Well, I think the deal with USA will be on Friday, but it might move to a 3-hour format. Well, you know why?
Dude, there's
Because they want to give that FU to AEW.
Well, no, they want that money, that
Yeah.
ad
That
money.
too,
I think
but
both.
that too.
It's both. It's obviously both. Jesus.
But also too, is
That
like if
ad
you go look at the
revenue,
roster, I was like actually writing down on the roster like who would I cut from, who else should be cut from the WWE roster, like from all the cuts. And I looked at Raw's roster. I'm like, well, I don't see them on TV. Cut. They had like six people. I could say you can cut.
Nia
But on
Jax.
SmackDown, that's the whole thing about you cutting 3 women wrestlers that you desperately need bodies because they keep falling, and then you bring Nia Jax to one person that's going to probably do more damage than good.
Yep.
But on Raw, I've been on SmackDown. There's only been like a couple wrestlers that have not been routinely used, and that's crazy.
Oh no.
But put it another hour, their whole roster would be the whole SmackDown roster can be shown in a 3 hour period, which I think can be a good thing. Plus Rampage, that would just kill Rampage completely.
I mean, like, granted, there's been like a handful of good matches on Rampage. I mean, they pack a lot in a very short window with that show. I mean, they jam a lot in hours
I
time
don't
frame.
dislike Rampage, but I just feel like it's out of all the shows, it's the one that I
feel like
watched at least.
I feel like Collision made Rampage obsolete.
100%.
Yep.
And Rampage does have some good matches. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I just don't watch it enough.
I mean,
Problem too is that you already know the outcome of the matches
Usually,
before you get
Right.
watch. That's the
just
problem.
just use that fucking hour.
I was
Like,
kind
get
of
rid
pissed off about
get
the
rid
Jade
of
Cargill,
Rampage.
Chris Statlander knowing the result beforehand. And
Well, actually, it's a good thing you brought that up because we haven't done a show since the signing. The fact that she's now.
oh, they did sign her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
She's
I knew that was all the whole like everybody talking, but I didn't know officially that she signed.
No, she's
she's-
at the Performance Center.
Oh wow. Okay. I swear. Okay. I've been busy, man. Jesus. Wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Good for Jade
I-
Cargill because like here's the thing. She's still to me pretty green, but she's just a physical presence. Who like you kind of feel like is she a? I mean, you already got a Bianca Belair. They're just two.
Dude,
huge,
you're waiting for that match.
I mean, two big, like just strong women. Bianca can go. Jade is the one I got.
You know what I want? I want this Nia Jax Rhea Ripley thing. Know what I want at the end of that match? I want Jade Cargill to come in and start a match with fucking Nia.
Oh yeah.
I need her to just destroy Nia.
Dude, I still don't
I
understand
can't-
why they brought her back. Look, I'm happy she got a job, but it's like you see all these releases, you're like, you already said it earlier.
I mean, but at the same point, I was like, are we trying to make Rhea a sympathetic babyface champion?
and the
I'm
fact,
like,
too, that
I'm confused.
All these releases, but they signed AOP back a couple
No
months ago.
way.
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yes.
Yep.
A couple months ago.
Okay. All right. Look, I'll trust the process, but I didn't like him to begin with, and we'll see.
I thought I had heard something too about James Ellering kind of popping up around around NXT too.
Well, the thing is too is like the thing about AOP will work if you had Ellering with them, but the first time they get on freaking Raw, you take Ellering away, and I'm like, what are
They
you doing?
definitely need mouthpieces, yes.
Yeah.
But Ellering
Big
also
mistake.
makes them relevant. They,
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Now I'm the Road Warriors manager, and now I'm pulling these guys, so yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that we do have it. It's gonna be kind of crazy because I think it's like we have 3 premium live events that are gonna be coming up kind of over the course of the next 3 weeks. Like not this weekend, but we basically have
you got NXT this week.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, no, we have NXT this weekend. We
No
have No
Mercy.
Mercy. Then the following weekend, following Sunday, we have Wrestle Dream, and then I think the weekend after that we have Fastlane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, because Wrestle Dream is this weekend, October 1st, I thought.
no.
It's
Yeah,
not
no,
this
October
weekend. This
1st is
weekend.
next
this
weekend.
This weekend it's NXT.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was
NXT
it.
from Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, no, I mean, we kind of touched on it before. The Wrestle Dream card is shaping up to definitely be like a card of dream matches. There's a lot of good matches to look forward to with that. Fastlane, we're 2 weeks out. The only real match that's been announced for it has been the Bloodline versus John Cena, and originally it was going to be AJ Styles,
Oh, that's right.
but then they knocked him out, so it's John Cena and question mark.
Yeah, they said
There's a
that-
lot of people who are thinking that question
It's
mark
LA
is going to
Knight.
be The Rock.
No, it's LA Knight.
Well, I think it's
The
going to be
prob-
LA Knight.
But the problem
ahead.
was LA Knight on Friday.
Had COVID.
Had
COVID,
COVID, and
right.
he left. That was supposed to be. He was supposed
They-
to come in the main at the last.
I'm
segment.
just saying, the
Oh,
rumor,
oh.
innuendo, and scuttlebutt out there
Oh,
is that it could be The
allegedly.
I
Rock.
understand. I can understand seeing that,
Mhm.
but guess what? Just came to agreement this past weekend. That writer strike is.
It's
they
done.
come to
It's
agreement.
over.
It's
So
over.
Rock will be
Mm.
working again. John Cena said he's going to be there for 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Let him have his tag match. Yeah, they said because they were supposedly offered refunds to the people on SmackDown because LA Knight wasn't there. They advertised him to be there. So the whole plan was it was supposed to be LA Knight.
They offered refunds because I was gonna say this is
Allegedly.
yeah no because I was like this is Vince McMahon. The
This is
whole
Endeavor
card
owns
subject
the-
to change.
Endeavor
yeah,
owns
like,
it now. So.
in Denver.
well, no, I mean
I
that's
know, I agree
amazing.
with you. Trust
It's
me.
a
I-
step in the
that's why I
right
put, like,
direction.
quotation marks like allegedly. That's our red article.
Vince McMahon's like, I know you're coming here to see Hulk Hogan. Fuck you.
Are you in A-Town?
You're gonna get Brutus the
No,
Barber
you're a
beefcake. Ha 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 ha. That's good shit, pal.
Hey, fuck you. You're gonna get the Ultimate Warrior, and you're gonna get a 30-second match. Fucking clothesline.
I'm just remember that night at a fucking Lakefront Arena. 5 clotheslines and a fucking press, and he beats Andre the Giant.
His music hits runs exactly what you said. Runs out 90 seconds, if that. And
5 clotheslines and then 1, 2, 3. Then he runs out. And now I mean you can even be like.
If only that infamous night that Bobby Heenan referred to would have happened in New Orleans and you'd have been there. The whole thing where Andre like his Warrior kept hitting him too hard with the clotheslines and it just
fist right out there.
boom. If only that could have happened in New Orleans the night that you were there.
That shit would have been fucking awesome. I just remember because as being a little kid, me and my god brother we were big Ultimate Warrior fans, and now I don't understand why. I know why. Because I fucking hated Hulk Hogan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, but I remember like watching them, like, what? We were like, yeah, you get all pumped up, music going, yeah. Then we were like, huh?
Oh no.
What the fuck?
That's it?
That's it. Then he runs out and be like, hey! Like, now looking back, I'm like, man, we're 2 stupid motherfuckers.
I was stupid when I was
Everybody
young.
was, yeah, me too.
But so this match hasn't been officially announced yet, but I just want y'all's thoughts on Shinsuke and Seth. Like that's definitely a heavily rumored match for Fastlane. Put the fucking belt on Shinsuke.
Yes, please.
Pull the fucking trigger. Like he is doing so good right now in this heel angle. Granted, I will say the whole picking and choosing your battle. Like, nah, I'm not going to give you a day of time. It's going to be the day of time of my choosing. All this other stuff. It's like that I'm not really feeling as far as the storyline, but everything else has been fucking perfect.
I've always been a Shinsuke fan. I like how he's on a heel. I wish initially they just would have pulled him to Paul Heyman and have him be the king of strong style and promoted him that way.
Mm-hmm.
Just put the belt on him. Let him have one little run. Whatever, the Judgment Day, Damian Priest can cash it in on him. Who cares? Just give him one run.
Yeah. They're not going to put the belt on Shinsuke.
No, they
Basically,
won't.
Seth's going to hold it until Damian cashes in. But just a thought. And as you sit there deep in thought, I think that pretty much covers it, at least for the hard news.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have our fun little game show. Stay tuned.
And welcome back to another segment of the Ragin Marks Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah, this is actually the fun part of the show. Or at least Ramsey thinks it'll be fun to...
That's my fun part. See them squirm in their chairs with the trivia.
On camera, so nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Wow, we got nothing to do, man. So I'm looking at the scoreboard like a Jeopardy game. I'm excited.
Yeah, no.
I'm kind of nervous because I know Ramsey. I know what he does.
Oh, be ready. So we just got 5 categories today. We got a little scoreboard on the bottom so you can see. We keep score, positive, negative. So you can get it wrong, negative points. And we'll see who wins. Who's the smart mark this time? Is it going to be Ravishing Randy or Total Nonstop Kurt?
Yeah, the fact that you've already said that Wheel of Fortune is no longer going to be played, I'm very pissed about that. But I'm also pretty damn good at Jeopardy, though, so I think I might have a fighting chance here.
So since this is Kurt's first show back in a while, I'll give him the first choice of the board.
Let's go In Your House for 100.
You don't have to say what is. You can just answer the question.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Great.
For 100 In Your House, in your House 3 triple header, what was the main event?
This is the first question.
Oh, I've got you guys to say your name to.
Oh
to
no,
chime
we
in.
we, fig- we figured that
Thank
was
you,
going to be the
thank you.
buzz in
For the
but
people listening. Just
Yeah,
in case.
sorry, my bad.
That's the $100 question, TAK. That's
I know that's the scary part. I have a clue, but I guess I get a minus 100.
No, is there anybody's up? Who?
Well, dude, I was gonna say it's only minus 100.
It's anybody's guess. I mean, you can guess too. It just go.
No, I understand that, but I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna guess. No one's guessing. All right, nobody, no guess. It is two dudes with attitudes. Diesel, WWF champion, and Shawn Michaels, WWF Intercontinental IC champion, versus Yokozuna and British Bulldog, the WWF Tag Team champions. Winner takes all the titles match.
Which the dudes with attitudes won.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't guess because I would have got that wrong.
Yeah.
All right, no points to no one. Kurt, you still got in charge of the board. Pick the next question.
Let's go with guess the championship wrestlers. Let's go 300.
All right, this category, it's all current wrestlers.
Thank goodness.
Thank God.
So guess the wrestler, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, NXT Champion, Universal Champion.
I can name two. Good grief.
I'm trying. So they've won all three of these belts.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right.
10 seconds.
This is sad. I'm just trying.
TNK.
Oh,
Finn
sure.
Balor.
Is it Finn Balor?
it is. That
Yes,
dude.
Finn
As soon as you said "ooh," I was like, okay, no, I know exactly who it is. Shit.
All right, Kurt, you still in charge of the board.
Guess the championship wrestlers for 200.
The Ring of Honor World Champion, WWE Champion.
Randy. I'm gonna say Tyler Black, aka Seth Rollins.
Is it Seth Rollins? No, it is not.
Wow.
It could have gone a couple different ways. Wow, I feel bad for you.
That's
I
okay.
probably would have guessed something like that too.
Kurt, you're still in charge of the board.
You know what? Let's do women's championships for 100.
Now, this could go anywhere from now into the past. She had a combined reign of 711 days as Knockouts champion.
Consecutive? Wait,
No,
No,
not
combined.
combined.
I'm sorry.
Combined.
Okay.
I know there's several people. You know what? Randy.
There's two that I can
Yes,
think of.
Randy.
Awesome Kong.
Gail
was
And
Kim.
gonna be
that was going to be the other
That
one.
was going to be mine.
That was going to be the other
Dude,
one.
Honestly, Randy, even though I'm TK, it was flip flopping between those two. I really didn't.
It's going to be one or the other.
All right, Kurt, you're still in charge of the board.
You know what? Let's do That's Not My Name for 100 because I'm curious what that is.
This is all current wrestlers.
Okay.
Real name is Austin Medelson.
Randy.
Yes.
Austin Theory.
Luchasaurus. Wow, Rand, this is the first time in any game that you are sucking ass.
No, but dude, this is difficult. So
Oh, yeah. I didn't make this easy. I asked, hey, in my defense, I did ask, what categories you guys want to be in? I didn't get none, so
no, I must have.
I just like, you know what? The asshole came out of me.
No, it's all good, man.
Way to be a dick.
Let's
Kurt?
let's do finishing moves for 100.
All right, name current wrestlers. Name the wrestler with their finishing move. Pop up powerbomb.
Randy.
Randy.
Kevin Owens.
It is Kevin Owens.
Now I'm only minus 300. Let's go.
All right, Randy, you still have the control.
Let's stay with the category for 200.
F5.
Randy.
Oh, shit.
Brock Lesnar.
You got it in there for okay.
Category for 300.
Paradigm shift.
Randy.
Yes.
John Moxley.
Dude,
Moxley.
I couldn't think of that one. All right. I've heard it so many times.
400.
Oblivion.
Randy. Liv Morgan.
Kicking ass. He's coming back.
Finish the category.
K360. Ooh. Got him. Got him. Got him. He thought he was going to run that.
Thought I was going to sweep the board. Shit.
Too much for me to guess and lose. I legitimately don't know. I don't even have a single
10
idea.
seconds.
I'm not going to go down.
Zoe Stark.
Yeah.
Well, Randy, do you still control the board?
You know what? I will go guess the championship wrestler for 100.
Ring of Honor World Champion, TNA World Champion, NXT Champion.
TNK.
Okay.
Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Samoa Joe. All right, Kurt, you got to control the board again.
Let's do guess the championship wrestler for 400.
AEW World Champion, Ring of Honor Champion, WWE Champion. Okay, Randy.
I didn't say my full name.
TNK.
TNK.
CM Punk.
Yeah.
TNK pulls back into the lead, 800 to 600. Kurt, you still got the board?
Yeah, let's close it up.
NWA World Champion, TNA World Champion, WWE Champion. Active wrestlers. Ten seconds.
You know what? I'm going to give you a hint, Randy. I'm going to do it. TNK.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre.
AJ Styles.
Yeah, that's yeah, because it was NWA TNA.
Yeah, no, I was.
Yeah, and part of me was thinking that it was maybe him, but I didn't want to go in a hole.
Okay, Randy, your turn.
Randy, you control the board.
Actually, it's TNK.
That's TNK.
Yeah,
your control.
In Your House 200.
This In Your House pay-per-view was done twice.
Randy.
Yes, Randy.
Beware of Dog.
I knew that one. I knew he would know it because I think he was still getting pay-per-views back then.
All right, Randy.
Stay with the category for 300.
In Your House 7, Shawn Michaels faced Diesel in a no-holds-barred match for Michaels' championship.
Randy.
What was the name of the pay-per-view?
Good friends, better enemies.
Very good.
There we go. Here's the comeback.
In Your House for 400.
In Your House 11, Buried Alive main event.
Randy?
Oh, I know what it is.
Is that you or that's
now that I think about it, I don't think it was the main event, but I'm going to say Undertaker versus Mankind.
It was.
Okay, good. I was like, wait, shit, was the WWE Championship the main event? I was like, fuck.
This on the pre-show. Shawn Michaels and Goldust was the pre-show.
True that, yeah.
All right.
Stay with the category for 500.
1999 was the last In Your House pay-per-view. What was the name of the pay-per-view?
I was going to say, I thought it ended before that. Shit.
You know what? I kind of did too. I thought 98 was like the last. 97 or 98 was the last year. Yeah, I got no clue.
10 seconds.
I'm not going to guess and then lose points.
And I'm way down.
If I had to venture a guess.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
He's 100% correct.
Slash In Your House.
Yeah, see, like, I didn't realize that was an In Your House, but, like, thinking about all the pay-per-views from 99, I was like, that was when Big Show made his debut. Yeah.
My whole thing about this was, the thing I did not, this is when you should have had that match. That match should have been, that card should have been like in Chicago.
I know, I'm looking at Memphis. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, at the Pyramid too.
Well, it makes sense in the case of like Paul White because he kind of came up through the Memphis territory.
No, I know that. I couldn't even tell you where the hell he came up from. I thought he was basically like a power plant guy, and then like just went straight to WCW.
All right, no points, nobody. All right, Randy. Pick a category.
Women's champions for 200.
This wrestler can say she is WWE's first Divas champion.
Who won that fucking butterfly belt? Shit. Know who was the last Divas champion?
Yeah, I do too. I mean, because it's not. That's what's tricking me. I know who won that damn butterfly belt. Who was the first one to do it?
You know what? It's only 200 points, but
You can guess wrong. You're still kicking my ass.
No, fuck this. Only for Kurt. I'll give you a clue. Callaway.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it was Michelle McCool. Okay.
Michelle McCool. Give those points to.
Thank
DK.
you. That was,
wow. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you're fucking beating him by 1,000 points.
I know he's killing
like-
me right now. Thank you.
Yeah,
Brandon
there's
showed
still plenty
mercy.
of points on the board for him to fucking mount a
Brandon
comeback.
Yeah,
Show
I
mercy.
guarantee you're not going to get half these fucking questions.
No, hell no. Hell no.
You want to do 300? Let's do 300.
Let's do 300.
This wrestler can say she is WWE. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, you did a
Look at that.
question twice.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't take it off the board. Oh, this wrestler is the only one that can say she was the Glow champion in WWF. Women's
Randy.
Champion,
Oh, I
Randy.
think we know that one.
Ivory.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Yeah, baby.
We were there for her Hall of Fame speech.
Fucking A.
Wanna do
Stick
400?
with the category 400.
How many women champions have had? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's.
I messed up on this one.
You.
Do you remember at all what it is?
No.
Okay, well, almost.
Oh fuck! What? Oh, you know I messed up.
Is it Stardom?
How many women champions had WCW had? There's 2.
Well,
Hey,
that's
Wait,
yeah.
no, they had Bull Nakano.
Nope, they had Akira Okuda and Debbie Masami.
That must
That
be
was
the
it.
real name.
Only 2 WCW women champions in
Wow.
history.
What the hell was that belt? And what was it called when what's her name? Medusa had the belt.
She didn't have a belt. She just took the
No,
women's.
she took the WWE belt and threw it in the trash. But then WCW had a very, very like a 1-year women's because she wrestled at Starrcade against Paul Nakano in 1996. The Lunderblades.
You sure? You sure it wasn't like a New Japan Women's Championship or Stardom
WCW
Championship?
Had their own belt. I have to look that one up. I swear it was WCW. It only lasted for like a year, just like her career with WWE. They had like a 2-year period with her as champion, and they kept feeding her the same person, Bull Nakano, and then like maybe one other woman.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty bad time for women's wrestling.
It really
Period.
was, man. That's why I feel Lunderblades don't get the just due that she deserves.
Yeah, no. Well, whenever Ramsey decides to
I'm sorry.
pull up the thing,
No, he's
We're having
pulling
some
up.
issues at work where we're missing people.
Oh no,
more.
I'll delegate or we'll just talk about whatever. Keep it in the
this
spirit of wrestling.
this is what we call stalling for
Stalling
time.
for time. That's all good.
We'll close out the category for 500 when you have it back up and running, sir.
Good luck. First Wild World Champion.
And you can go ahead and just move right along to.
No clue. I don't.
Terry Gold, September 1st, 2001.
Wow.
I didn't know it went back that far. At first.
Well, no, I'm just like wow, and yeah, I would have not known shit
I was
about
getting
that.
WoW and Glow confused. Like I don't know if they were both around at the same time. or
No.
whatever.
No, Glow
I
is
know
an
Glow
80s
is in the
thing.
80s,
Glow is
yeah.
definitely more.
Glow was done in like early 90s. WoW was just started up in 2001. But I thought it was like
Yeah, Glow is
2017.
Glow is like mid to late 80s, and
Yeah,
it
it
was
was like
more
around the
it was
80s.
more entertainment
Yeah.
wrestling than it was like.
That way only one
Wrestling with
wrestler
it.
has ever won the Glow Championship, and that was Ivory.
Oh, wow. I thought I wanted to. Okay.
We'll go with that's not my name for 200.
Walter Hahn.
TNK.
Yes.
Gunta.
Yes, it is.
Y'all.
300?
Yeah.
That's all we got. Trevor Dean Mann.
Randy?
Yes.
Trevor Murdoch?
Ricochet.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was thinking of too. I swear to you.
For 400. Demi Bennett.
I'm not saying a thing. And no giving hints.
You know what? I'm pretty much out of it at this point. I'm like,
You're not out of it. Mathematically, if you get these next two, you win it. So that's why I'm not saying anything.
yeah.
Rhea Ripley.
Oh.
I'm fucking ashamed of myself because I kind of, I remember hearing her say like when she got engaged that like somebody brought up the name Demi or interviewed her. Like people, she's like only 4 people call me Demi. Everybody called her Rhea.
Yeah. She was like, I
Yeah.
can't remember the last time I've heard my actual name.
Exactly.
I do remember that.
And the last question of the night. Gianna Dadito.
Gianna Dadio.
I could tell you guys do not watch Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yeah, you can tell correctly. I used to watch it a lot. Now it's like, dude, there's way too much fucking out there going on.
You know, this is the last question. I don't care if I get it wrong. TNK, is it Deanna Peraza?
Up, down, down.
God damn it. I just said Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yeah,
Deanna
I know.
Peraza was on Up, 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 Down, Down.
No, at all. Up, down, down. Then it would be
Is that Randy? Is that Liv Morgan? Yeah, okay.
Daddio. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
So the final score
Yeah, he kicked
of
my
our
ass. I had to keep him.
of our game today.
Can't blame
Nonstop Kurt.
Wait a minute. To be fair.
can't blame it on Wheel of Fortune this time.
Oh, okay. I thought if he could like had a second guess, we were allowing this. Whatever.
No, when you said Deanna Peraza, that was wrong.
Oh, I knew that.
I said Up,
figured
Up, Down, Down. You're like Deanna Peraza.
I
I was
know
like,
Impact. Sounded like your name.
I was trying to think because they've had a few women that have appeared on Up, Down, Down, but then like really thinking about it is like she's the one that's like prominently featured on a regular basis. It feels
Yeah,
like.
I totally don't want to.
Yeah.
So TNK 200 points, and then we got Ravishing Randy with 2,000 points. Holy
Killed me.
shit!
Yeah, dude, you this one was a little brutal.
Like I said,
keep
I
it
asked.
challenging.
I asked for some
Keep it
categories
challenging.
help, but I didn't get no.
This
love
one,
the categories.
this would be like double Jeopardy, not first round of Jeopardy.
Well, there's only one round, so it can't be easy.
No, I got
No,
no
I
complaints.
understand.
I got 0 complaints.
But yeah, it's that was our little
That's
game night.
I'll spoon feed you more categories next time.
Yeah.
Like I was struggling.
Actually, I think
didn't-
TNK should spoon feed you some categories, give him a fighting chance. You know what I mean?
I didn't even know. He must have sent that text to you directly. If you sent the group text, I totally missed it.
When did I sent it?
He
You know,
sent
you
it
probably-
Friday.
You might
He sent it like Friday or Saturday.
you might have been pulling weeds.
I probably was too. I was so fucking busy this weekend. I didn't even. I got one of the texts you sent about the categories, but either way, good job. That was fun. Now we're able to.
Yeah.
You had on YouTube like both of us together, side by side screen. Nice.
You had the you were up on top. Me, all three of us was on top, and you had the screen on the bottom.
Sweet.
Nice. Can't wait to see the production.
Oh, no, it don't matter, man. As long as we just like get it out there to YouTube and then figure out some algorithm thing.
Yeah, no.
And this is our first go around, man. So like this could be what we go back on and laugh at later in life.
Hey, no, it's a test run, man, and we'll get some of the logistical stuff figured out. But I kind of like what we have going so far, and it's only going to get bigger and better.
Kudos to Ramsey. I mean, he's taking the time, got the camera, got the setup, microphones, light. It's kind of like
Yeah, we gotta get better lighting, but
No. The lighting I think was great because I saw on the camera it looked good. But
Yeah.
well, I mean, you can look behind the thing about you can see some things that I don't like is like you can see the fan
that was
light
good, better.
that's how do you call it behind me. You can see like the
Oh.
background of me, and I don't I don't like that, but
Looks
I
like the
guess
top of
it's
your screen is flickering, but it's not.
yeah, that's.
No, you gotta have a ceiling fan. Good guy. We live in Louisiana.
But like here, we got like back there, like everything's fine with y'all.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say, nice black screen.
No, I dig it.
Only, yeah. Well, like I said, there's a few like technical things that we're gonna work the kinks out of as we go, but this is a good first run. And I was gonna say, do we already have something else planned for the next show, or are we just gonna?
I don't have nothing planned yet.
2 weeks. No.
Well,
It's 2 weeks away.
we'll figure out another
I mean, if
little
they
fun
have,
game show for the next show.
Another game show. We could do that. Let's close it on
Yeah,
that.
Kurt, we got to catch up on a lot of shit. There's a lot of things that I found out, like that Jeopardy thing. I just found out that it's great. It's actually I paid like $20 for a lifetime. I can create Jeopardy boards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we could
Yeah, and
just
then
do.
you showed me the ranking system tier that we had. We could do all that.
Yeah,
I'm,
there's a lot of things we can do. Like we can do a ranking thing next time, but we just have to figure out what we want to do so I can actually create one.
Yeah, and actually, like, I mean, granted, for the next show, we just talked about how there's going to be like rapid fire pay per views coming up. Bing, bang, boom.
I was thinking we probably could
So-
touch upon those if need be, because was that 3 in a row, like NXT,
Yeah.
AEW, and Pass
So
on.
yeah, NXT and AEW are this weekend.
Yeah.
Kind of incorrectly said it was like spread out over 3 weeks.
Oh, no,
It's actually spread out
like-
over 2.
Yeah, AEW's this Sunday, and
Mhm.
I don't know is I'm guessing NXT's a Sunday.
NXT
too.
Saturday,
Oh,
right?
good. Okay, hope it's Saturday. Well, look.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
I was about to say you're the one that's like pom pomming over there for NXT, man. I thought you'd be like
No,
on top of that
Dude,
shit.
I don't even know what today is.
Same here, shit.
dude, I had to think. I know today's the 25th. Monday. Yeah, there we go.
Dude, like I said, I thought it was I thought it was last week apparently.
God, I've been so like, yeah,
I've
life
been-
happens.
Life
I'm
comes
so
at you
out of it.
fast, kid.
Pretty much. Man.
So I guess that will do it for this week's edition of the Ragin' Marks Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to our first live in
Yeah,
video
all people on YouTube. I'm
show.
excited.
So looking forward to doing more of these. Glad to have my buddy TNK back in studio.
Glad to be here, man.
Dude, so for this week's edition of the Ragin' Marks Wrestling Podcast, Ravishing Randy signing out.
TNK signing out.
Oh shit! I am not ready for this. Ramsey, we're out.
Parting is such sweet sorrow, buddy. Don't worry. We'll see you next time. This has been a Fat Banter production.